Coolio. So this is difficult to, I guess, sorry, difficult to articulate in like a fully fledged, not entirely metaphorical vocabulary. At least it is in my head. Maybe as I'm speaking, it'll somehow make sense. That's often how my videos go. I like talk the whole video and I'm like, God, this doesn't make any sense at all. And then I edit it and I'm like, oh, maybe I do know what I'm talking about. Okay. So I've talked about it before, how I really struggle to feel present and like this is a real life. And I mean, I talked to my therapist about this because it impacts my daily livelihood every single day. But I really struggle with disassociating or derealizing. Kind of the easiest way to put it is I am not constantly, but I'm often sort of bombarded with the surreal realization of like, oh, this is my real life. This isn't a video game. I don't just get to do everything over. What I'm doing now is going to be sealed in the history of my life, and that's it. And I don't get to start over from square one, or from the last checkpoint, or reload my last save, or any other similar metaphorical examples. And that really fucks with me because I have spent a lot of my life kind of, I guess the easiest way to put it is counting on being able to redo things, or having time to figure it out, or having time to blah blah blah, or I can start over and do this differently, I can go back and change this, I can go back and fix that, and that's not possible. Or at least not for the big things that I wish it was for, you know? And that's scary. And in that, I kind of realized how much I have inadvertently lived my life through the eyes of other people online. I've been active online as a consumer for like 9 years of my life. I mean, when I was a kid, my parents were pretty strict with the internet. I really couldn't do anything without their approval, and then I was like, I'm 11, I'm gonna sneak around and do it anyway. And so, like, I was like constantly on YouTube and like Tumblr and just constantly consuming things and just being like, wow, I love videos. And I mean, obviously the content that I consume now is vastly different than when I discovered YouTube and social media and all that, you know, just growing older and taste changing and all that. And it made me realize how much I kind of subconsciously swallow the thought of like, oh, like, look, I watch all of these people, that'll be me one day. And kind of settle into the same sort of like, I'll get a do-over, or, you know, I can go through the last checkpoint again sort of mindset, but through the lens of other people's lives that they upload online. And it's not necessarily that I full-heartedly believe that, like, their life is my life, or, you know, I can live my life exactly like them, because, you know, it's not. I am very, almost detrimentally rational, especially when it comes to my mental health, but it's almost a sort of, a weird sort of, like, delusional filter I kind of find myself constantly in, and then the real surreal moments where the filter, like, fails, or the filter is off, is when I'm like, oh shit, like, dude, I'm in control of my life, and, like, this is the only time I'm gonna be this young, and I gotta, like, do this shit. And I mean, that's a whole separate video on how I feel I need to make it now, or that's it, but that's not for today. Because I feel like it's really worth making a video about being, I almost want to say, too immersed into internet culture and internet lives and other people's lives, because the internet is so new and has had such a cultural impact that we don't fully understand, you know, like with Hollywood, right? You know, there's Hollywood famous people. There's an obvious disconnect between you, the consumer, and these, like, celebrities all the way up here. You know, you're here, and you know you're here, and you know they're there. And I mean, obviously, very personable celebrities often have higher fan bases because they're personable. They make you, they relate to you and make you be like, oh, you know, they're just a normal person. And, you know, that's a whole thing. But my main point is that there's a clear gap between A-list Hollywood celebrities and you, the consumer. And the birth of the internet and of YouTube and vlogging and social media and constant sharing of your life, the entire, like, not purpose, but, you know, for a long time, I'm not really sure how much, it's difficult for me now to gauge how accurate this statement is, but for a long time, the sort of purpose of the internet was community and connecting and being on a level field, you know? And we have internet celebrities now, which we definitively refer to as separate from real celebrities, Hollywood celebrities, or just plain celebrities. You have celebrities and you have internet celebrities, right? And there's an obvious gap between internet celebrities and you, but because of the way the internet has worked since forever, and the way it's evolved in tandem with the current generation, has, how would you describe it? It's just significantly shortened that gap and kind of blurred the clear, you know, stage line. And it's a lot easier to kind of see yourself next to these people and internet celebrities and just kind of anybody on the internet. And I mean, obviously, for many people who create on the internet, that is the intent, and it's not made with bad intentions. I just simply think that it's very interesting to kind of observe those qualities, especially as somebody who finds themselves a little too daydreamy all the time, a little too wrapped up in wishes and dreams of grandeur and just kind of somebody who struggles to be completely or mostly realistic, you know? I think there's a very big difference between rational and realistic, and while I am rational, I am not always realistic. I often don't have both feet on the ground. I'm operating at like 1.5 feet most of the day, and I mean, my life could be a lot worse than what it is right now, and I have definitely made good choices for myself and done the best some of the times with what I could. And, you know, I'm working to improve my life. And, you know, like I've been saying, I would really like for you and me to, like, become something. Like, hey, no, I'm just kidding. I mean, you know, I'd like this to be successful, obviously. I do it because I like it, because it's a media that I feel comfortable in and has the certain sort of casual flow that I like, right? Like, obviously, like I'm just talking about, I am crafting this, and I enjoy the way that this is naturally set up to provide that closeness and casualty, but I am crafting it nonetheless, you know? It is something that I'm doing intentionally. When I put the background music in, I do that intentionally. When I cut out me stuttering or tripping over my words or going to figure out what I want to say, you know, I'm doing that intentionally. You're not getting the same experience with me right now as you were if you were to be on my bedroom floor talking with me, you know? I mean, you'd get the same general idea, I guess. You'd get the same sort of thing, but it wouldn't be exactly the same as this is. And it's just... Wait, where was I going? It's just kind of interesting to me, and I truly wonder how much specifically this quality of the internet has affected others' mental health, but also just how the internet as a whole and how it's developed and the type of being, I mean a mechanical being, but being nonetheless, that it's become, how it's linked with us, how it's linked with our society, our culture, capitalism, you know, a whole myriad of things. And truly what kind of cultural impact the internet has truly had, because I mean, we can't really quantify that as we're living it, you know? I mean, we're just starting to really be like, oh shit, you know, like maybe constantly oversharing everything on social media is a bad idea. We need to reevaluate the boundaries we have online, and etc., etc. Like, it's just such a fast evolving and thus harder to study thing. It's crazy. But like the past 2 weeks or so, I actually haven't watched any YouTube videos. And I mean, I do constantly think about how YouTube as a platform has changed and how my viewing tendencies have changed and etc. But I am trying to give more thought to the way that I put myself in other posts and the way I immerse myself online, because I'm gonna be honest, sometimes it really just is not good for me. I mean, we talk about FOMO all the time and how seeing your friends post about the party they're at or the vacation they went on and stuff, you know, you feel bad because you can very easily picture yourself there and you're not there, you know? And I just think that it's something we need to pay more attention to, and on both sides of the internet, that we need to try to be mindful of, because yeah, I mean, so much of my generation, God, that makes me feel old, but so much of like people around my age and stuff, at least talk about experiencing like disassociation or derealization and stuff, and I know that it's become a meme, and I know that a lot of people can be just talking about like spacing out instead of not realizing that they're real and not feeling real and all of that, and it's just, I see more jokes and memes and whatever about like dissociating and derealizing and not feeling present and feeling pressure to make it and make it online nonetheless. And if you're not popular on social media, then what's the point? If you're not popular on social media, who even are you? Why bother? Etc., etc., etc. And that's like scary, dude. Like, we can't just like live our lives anymore. Everything has to be consumable online 24/7. It all has to be about the number of likes and retweets and favorites and shares and whatever that you get. And I mean, I get that this is starting to sound like, a fucking boomer comic, but we can't say that we never feel the pressure to like say something successful online to have the success. You know what I mean? Like, I do my fair share of like shit posting, especially on Twitter. I'm fucking disgusting. But when I tweet something that I think is funny, I am tweeting it just because I want to share my funny thought. But I'd be lying to you if I didn't say that I hope this funny thing that I think is funny is also thought to be funny by other people. I hope other people validate my sense of humor. I hope other people validate what I'm putting online, because it's a form of vulnerability. You're putting yourself in the invisible public to be validated by other people, and it just, I think we need to think about it more. That's what I think. I mean, I can't fix it, I can't make the internet a perfect place. I don't think it's ever possible for the internet to be a perfect place, but I do definitely think that it is moving too fast for people my age, and most definitely for kids. The internet is a great tool and resource to teach a lot of kids a lot of things and provide a lot of great and wonderful things to children, but it's also incredibly dangerous, and I don't think that we are paying enough attention to what kids have access to. And the internet is just big and scary and confusing and undiscovered. I truly feel like the internet is its own kind of ocean in a sense, if that makes sense. Hopefully you know what I mean there. But yeah, I don't know. I just wanted to talk about it. I just wanted to share my thoughts. That's what I say in every video. That's the whole point of this. Okay. Okay. If you have questions or comments or thoughts you'd like to share them, because I truly want to discuss this. I really do think it's interesting. I think there's a lot of discussion on it, and not that it's not being discussed. I want to be involved. Yeah. So, cool. That's it. Can I be that annoying YouTuber who says like, hey, if you like this video, like it maybe? I don't know. It's supposed to help with analytics and like get my videos promoted to other people or something. Bro, I don't know. Like the video, please, if you want to. You don't have to, but like, please, like, homie, like, drop me a thumbs up. Okay. Okay, I'm going. Okay, thanks for tuning in. Cool. See you later. Bye. Jesus Christ.